I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
Diddy's lawyer objected. And it was sustained, so he didn't have to answer that. That would be speculation anyway, right? Do you think Cassie is enjoying herself? So it's obviously a good objection. That was the last thing that came out. We're waiting for the next tweet right now. Let me reset this. Male dancer, stripper. And he's testifying now about the different freak offs he was in. Cherie, thank you, Cherie. All right, I'm refreshing. Let's see what we got. All right, did you use narcotics? I am not a smoker, but I did pull a Bill Clinton. I was handed a joint. Did you have performance issues? Having the woman's partner there, yes. Did the issue affect your pay? Objection.
Oddly enough, Diddy had the same problem. Because there's another man there, his dick didn't work, and the other man said he had a problem fucking because Diddy was there. His dick didn't work. Everybody can't do it. That's what makes the best porn stars the best porn star. When they're looking to recruit men to do porn, you have to find men that can hold an erection when there's other men in lighting and cameras standing around, but mainly other men. If you're doing a gangbang scene, right, and you're trying to bang Cassie with a bunch of other guys on Diddy's, or because she's into that, or you're doing a show. If every time other men are around, your dick doesn't work, and you're a bad porn star. But then there are some that can stay on rock, even though there's a bunch of other men around. And that's where the GOATs in the porn industry come from. That's where the champs were. And honestly, when Cassie was thinking about men to recruit, she was recruiting men that were porn stars, men from websites where this is what they do for a living. She knew what she was doing. She knew she needed them to stay up because they would go down if they're around other men, depending on who they are. Some men can do it. A lot of men, most men cannot. I'm from LA. When I was, shit, we used to run them, I mean, shit, you got to, this is something that happens. A lot of women are into that. A lot of girls like it. So, you might not like it because you're an old lady now, but you forgot 20 years ago, you were begging for it. I've seen that happen too. But you'll see the women that come on this tiki-taki and how crazy they talk. They're all old as shit. Yeah, nobody's trying to fuck you anymore. So of course you hate sex and anybody that's having it. So let's be real.
Are they pulling up any of the rappers from that time, like Mace or Shine or any of those kinds of people that would have definitely been exploited by him, by his bad contracts? So I'm a bit confused on, is it just kind of new school Diddy that they're examining, or is it the old school Diddy as well?
This is not a case on breach of fucking contract. She asked if Mace and Shine were going to be on the trial to talk about how he did bad things to them when it came to their contracts. What the fuck are you guys all just, what trial are you watching? He's not charged with breach of contract. He's charged with sex trafficking, prostitution, and racketeering. RICO. What the fuck is wrong? What's wrong with these crazy ass people?
Right. Do you know if there are any rappers that are lined up? Because Busta Rhymes was obviously very supportive, very vocally supportive, and some others have been very vocally supportive, but then others have been burned by him and his bad business practices.
Yeah.
So surely they would be quite good people to bring to be like, well, yeah, he was a monster and he was an absolute like wrong'un in the studio. I haven't heard anything of any rappers coming up and testifying. So I wonder if you know anything about that.
I wouldn't expect any. I don't think we're going to get any celebrities. We might, you mentioned Shine. We might hear about that incident that happened because the judge is going to allow one bad act of Diddy's from the past that he's not charged with. They're going to let one of those in.
Wow.
So it could be that he assaulted a record executive in his office. So it's one of those two. But everything else from the 90s, don't expect any of that to.
Kicking somebody's ass 25 to 30 years ago does not mean you're a part of a RICO. You're a sex trafficker. That doesn't mean. Oh, this is so beautiful to watch. It just shows you that bro, like they said, you can sue a ham sandwich. Apparently, you can also arrest and charge a ham sandwich with trafficking and racketeering. It's a fucking inanimate ham sandwich. You can charge him. It means that basically all of this is frivolous and it's all nonsense. Anybody can make up anything. There is no, and then it depends on who you ask. There is no burden of proof. Tory Lanez is supposed to be getting out of jail because they convicted him, even though his fingerprints were not on the gun. There was no gunshot residue on his hands. There's no evidence that he ever even held the gun. And he was still convicted of shooting somebody. Like, what? It just shows you the whole system is fucked up. It's not good. Not saying that there's a bunch of black people in jail that shouldn't be there. No, they should be there. But now they're taking it too far. Now you're calling breaking up with a girlfriend who's bitter is sex trafficking and racketeering. Get the fuck, bro. But black people are easy targets, because there are a lot of guilty ones. So you assume everybody's guilty. And if he's rich from doing record labels, from doing music, and he likes to fuck women, of course, he's also gay and he's a sex trafficker and he fucks kids. There's just no proof of it. What are we talking about here? People are just projecting and reaching, and they got to be careful. Them rotator cuffs can go out. Yeah, stop all that reaching.
All right, so they're talking about his book right now, In Search of Freezer Meat. It's going to be funny if he says the name. What's the name of your book? If he didn't, then Xavier Donaldson's going to make him say it. You said you wrote a self-help book. What's it called? It could offend some women on the jury.
By the way, I'm only watching this guy, Mike Law, because they're extremely biased. They're left-wing Democrat. I'm obviously right-leaning. And I want to hear what the other side says, and I want to hear how they think. You have to know who these other people are and what's going on with them and how they rationalize things and what they tell themselves. You got to listen to them. And it makes for really good content, too, so you can just see how fucking psychotic these people are. I'm not on Diddy's side. I'm on the truth of accuracy. I'm on the side of accuracy. If we're going to put a jacket on someone and call him a thief or to call him a rapist or to call him a trafficker, if you don't have the proof that he did any of those things, that makes me mad. You shouldn't be calling him that if you can't prove that any of that is true. We have rules. I'm from LA. You can't put a jacket on somebody for something that you can't prove. You should be able to easily prove to me something before you call someone something. There are strict rules where I'm from. And you guys are calling him all these names. Like, I mean, I'll be an example. I'm guilty. I've shared the gay jokes. I've shared the memes of him, wearing Usher out. They fighting, they wrestling over Frosted Flakes. Man, what if he didn't even fuck Usher? What if he really was just wrestling with the nigga over some fucking cereal? And nobody got fucked. Like, I wasted, how long of my time did I waste thinking Usher was getting his motherfucking, getting baby oil in his cheek? I'm not saying I'm sitting here thinking about Usher's cheeks. I'm not. That's not, no Diddy. I'm not worried about, I don't know. I don't know how to say this. Like, how do I rectify? I said rectify, not rectum. Pause. I'm just saying, how do you get over this whole thing where you just want to hear about your favorite celebrities getting fucked by a nigga. That's just weird. And I see it seems like people just want to hear the sex lives of the rich and famous. I don't know why they just want to talk about all this shit, but again, that's why I'm listening to this person. I'm right leaning. This is a left wing person, so let's hear. I just want to hear what they have to say.
A lot of people probably would buy it. Let's see, and then no further questions. All right, prosecutor's done. Mr. Donaldson, Xavier Donaldson. I'll try to make this as harmless as possible. Congratulations on your book. What's it called?
I love it.
I'll try to make this as harmless as possible. Congratulations on your book. What's it called? In Search of Freezer Meat. What's harder than that? Good title. Here we go.
It's not even a trial no more. It's a comedy, a live action comedy. Maybe I should just do live action comedy for people 24/7. Maybe I should just do that, because that's what people want to hear is sex comedy. I can do that. I think I can make up a bunch of sex stories or just tell stories from my own personal life and how funny it was. Shannon, if I start doing sex comedies, I'm gonna change the name and write a character for you, and it'll be there.
Do you want to come up? No. All right, I drop you down. Don't worry. Susan is there. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Pat.
Hello. Sunshine. Hi, Sunshine. Sunshine, you want to come up? No. I drop you. I saw 3 in the chat. Let me see it. Chanel. Is it Chanel or Chantel? I see Chantel. Okay.
Do me a favor, like the page, share the video. I'm attempting to get my followers up on YouTube, my subscribers up, and follow me on X. So if you're watching this on X, which a lot of you are, please like the page and follow it. I'm doing these videos every day now. I'm doing content every day. Hopefully you find it interesting with my sense of humor, but also my right-leaning perspective on everything. I'm not like middle. I wouldn't say I'm middle of the road. I just don't agree with a lot of the gay stuff, and unless it's between girls, that I can agree with. But the other stuff is out of there. And I don't believe in free everything. I don't believe in free healthcare. I don't believe in free education, because everything that's free, I've never seen anybody appreciate anything that's free. People used to take water for granted until now they started bottling it up. And now you're like, wow, that water is actually, all water is not the same. You appreciate it. I think people are too ungrateful nowadays. You should appreciate more. So I don't believe in free stuff. And also I'm from a communist country originally, and I don't believe in communism. So, but yeah, so follow the page if you, agree with the stuff I talk about. Hopefully I can be appealing to you. And I do this like all day, every day anyway. So it's something for you to listen to while you're driving or whatever. I bring people on, I do interviews. So just, we can hang out and talk, we're friends. I like you guys a lot. I'm not at the point where I'm saying I love everybody on the internet. I like some of you people, but I can't say this is too much commitment. I'm not ready to commit to the internet. So
he's another escort. I saw them 8 to 12 times. They seem to be talking more about him.
Yeah. What's up, cousin?
You wrote a book.
Nigga, I just literally.
He's not really giving too much evidence, except that he was hired to do.
I'm watching everybody. I'm watching Diddy basically get off on this case. There is no case. Yes, I'm supposed to be on the road. I got everything done. I'm actually supposed to be leaving. I'll be leaving out of here today. I got the dogs. I got everything packed. You see Bacon is over there. He's getting ready for the trip by resting up. So, and then I'll be on the road because so Shannon, I'll be in Arizona, Shannon. So it's right next door. You can come out.
So even if Diddy's lawyer can annihilate him on the stand and make him out to be a liar on something, they're not questioning him on, did these freak offs really exist? Did you really, this didn't.
Freak offs are not what he's being freak off, not what is being charged with. Focus on the racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution. Stop talking about the freak offs. That has nothing to do with the charges. Y'all just want to talk about nasty stuff. You want to talk nasty? Rico will talk nasty. I'll say some nasty shit to you. What y'all want to talk about? You want to put somebody's dick in a hot dog bun? How about that with mustard on it? Y'all want somebody to talk nasty? I can just talk nasty. We don't need Diddy. I can talk nasty to you. You know, y'all send me some money, send me some stuff on the internet, send me a cash app. I'll say all kind of nasty shit to you if that's what you guys want to hear. But you're not going to get it from the Diddy trial because, I mean, it's really not much besides regular sex and really just Cassie having regular sex. He's not doing nothing extravagant. Nobody said he slid off of a roof and backflipped into some pussy or into a dude. No, there's not even nothing gay going on. It's not even interesting. I want to hear some gay shit or hear about him being a straight predator. There's no monstrous stuff going on here. He's just a regular dude who's trying to keep his girl happy. There's nothing extravagant about any of this.
The only witness today?
Oh, Cassie's mom was before him.
Oh, okay. I'll catch up on that tonight then.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a recap video up after this live, and then we're gonna do a full recap at 6 p.m. tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Krista. Let me jump down. So pump. For 30 years, thousands of ladies, you try not to develop feelings for them, right? You try job, but you talked with Cassie. Cordial. Nelly, are you saying something? Nelly's unmuted now. Do you guys see Nelly unmuted?
I'm unmuted now, but I wasn't before.
Yeah, we actually.
No.
All right. I don't know why it does that all the time. It's always one person. All right. So you have a website. Yes. Now I'm a co-owner. All the male dancers are independent contractors. You've been doing anniversary. You dance with them, a professional dry hump. For 30 years, thousands of ladies. You try not to develop feelings for them, right? You try not to. It's a job. But Cassie, cordial. And let's see.
Can y'all hear
Waiting
this
for
on
the next
YouTube,
one to come up.
on Instagram? Can y'all hear this testimony?
Missionary
Are you guys
kids.
able to hear this?
You want to come up?
Shannon, you there? Can you hear it? Yes or
So
no?
on the stand right now is Sheree the Punisher Hayes
And guess what?
on cross-examination by
And guess what? He never punished Diddy anally. So who was he punishing? Nobody. He was actually making people happy. So his name is actually false advertising. And I think he should be brought up on charges of that since we're just giving out bullshit ass charges. Matter of fact, I'm going to sue the nigga for wasting my time because I thought he was about to say, yeah, I punished the fuck out of Diddy, tied him up, made him take that. He didn't take shit. He fucked Cassie. Big deal. Everyone fucked Cassie. The dude at Burger King fucked Cassie. I'm pretty sure the guy at Burger King probably did. She's one of those women that has to have it. You have a rich husband, and guess what she does? Or a rich boyfriend, and she goes out and cheats. As soon as a woman gets a rich man, she starts cheating. I don't know what it is with rich women and cheating, but that's what happens. I guess when they're broke, they're too stressed out to cheat. That's why I said keep them broke. If you got a bad bitch, you love her, keep her ass broke. Because if you start giving her money, she about to start fucking somebody named Rico or somebody named the Punisher. Or it might be a hybrid, a nigga named Rico the Punisher. You know what? If I change my TikTok name to Rico the Punisher, I'm gonna need y'all to like follow. I'm gonna need you guys to follow Rico the Punisher's Instagram. Because if y'all want to just hear nasty stories about people that are not fucking Diddy, I'm not fucking Diddy. So me and him are the same. I'm Rico the Punisher. He's the regular Punisher. Same difference.
and this one, nothing about that. Hi, Miss California.
Hi, Mike. Hey, I was wondering, what again do we have to have for him to get the RICO case? You know what I mean? What charges? What does he have? What?
Bro, these old ass washed up women who are over the wall are asking, well, what do we got to do to get him to meet the standards of the RICO? So they don't want it to be that he actually did something wrong and then he's found guilty. They're trying to figure out how they can, twist things around to make him fit in something. Like, this is how insane we are right now. Listen to these Democrats. Listen to these left-wing people. All of them, listen.
There has to be more people who are the government needs to establish that there is an enterprise, that an enterprise exists, a criminal enterprise that's doing this kind of stuff, that's facilitating this. So they haven't gone into that too deep yet, but they've been leading on a couple of witnesses in that direction.
Yeah, so the couple of girls that were witnesses, they all alluded to the fact that his assistants and everything had participated in all of that, right? I mean, as far as setting stuff up and
Exactly, right. Was setting the stuff up. So they're touching on those things, and when they're going to get probably more higher.
Staging a hotel room with baby oil and roses and condoms so that I can do some fucking in there. If you're my assistant, that is not racketeering and that's not trafficking or prostitution. Like, these people are crazy. As my personal assistant, that's your job. Make sure I got all the shit I need for whatever I'm trying to do. And if you don't like it, go work somewhere else.
Tweet. But you thought she was only doing this with you. That's correct. She said it was a special occasion. You did develop feelings for her. That's not correct. You told the government, and he's probably going through his interview, and he's going to find something in there where he said he cared about her or he liked her or something like that.
Shit, she looked good. I like
her
her
too.
too.
You did develop feelings for her. That's not correct. But you told the government, and let's see what's going to come up.
Everybody lied.
Probably showing him his interview notes. Take a look at this probably. Tracy, come on up.
Oh, look how old Tracy is.
Hi, Tracy.
God damn.
Hi, is that the Punisher?
That is, yep.
Well, I mean, he's kind of scary looking.
Check out his Instagram, Get Punished.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I want to be with him.
He's bald head and bald
anyway,
face. What is meaning he looks scary?
Why would Al be sure testifying?
I don't know that he would. I personally don't think he will, but he talks too much. He said too much in a recent interview that I think would be very bad for him to testify. It would hurt the government's case because Diddy's lawyers would make him out to be like some conspiracy theorist. So I don't know that he would. He's trying to make it seem like he might, that he's been subpoenaed to testify. Let's see.
But as far as having dirt on Diddy,
he has suspicions. I don't believe that he has any dirt on Diddy, like any evidence that he can offer, unless there's some certain interactions that he had. But that would be probably with Kim Porter, and she's not part of the case. He's not charged with anything to do with her.
If there was a case, he'd be charged with it.
okay, got it.
Trust me, I believed all the rumors and bullshit too, because why not? But I was stupid. I should have waited for the facts to come out. Facts over feelings.
The government's notes say that you developed feelings for her. That may have been taken out of context. You used your 25 years experience. That was a different scene. Usually I aim for humor. So there's something in his notes, in his interview notes with the government, where it said that you developed feelings for her. And he's saying that may have been taken out of context. Then Diddy's lawyer says, you used your 25 years experience. He says, this was a different scene. Usually I aim for humor. Not sure exactly. Let me go to CNN and see if they've talked about the Punisher. So
that's
far.
why he called about where's the meat in the fridge or whatever. That's a joke. Oh, okay, that's funny.
Hayes testified he began his career as an exotic dancer in 1995. He says that
1995. How old is this? Man, these things are old. I keep forgetting they're all in there. Diddy's in his 50s. They're all like in their 50s or damn near 60 years old. Like, and you're talking about what you did 20 years ago. Like, this is bullshit. Like, this is nonsense.
wouldn't try to dry hump someone who didn't want to be dry humped, correct? Yes, it is important to read the room. So you read the room with Kathy and she wanted objection, sustained. Can't continue down that line of questioning right there. So
why not?
He was trying to, but he already kind of established it. You wouldn't try to dry hump someone who didn't want to be dry humped, correct? Yes, it's important to read the room. So you read the room with Cassie, and she wanted objection. He kind of made his point to the jury by doing that, though.
I mean, unless you're trying to get the Punisher to say that he raped Cassie, this line of questioning is pointless and it's risky for the prosecution. Because if you're saying he raped Cassie, why isn't he charged? And I don't think he's dumb enough to self-incriminate himself. I think he's just a man that, you know, works out and likes to strip, and he doesn't have to rape anybody. And if Cassie was being against her will, he wouldn't have messed with her. And I think he liked her because she liked him, because she likes dick. She likes all these men. She likes men. So, I mean, this line of questioning is kind of nonsensical.
Comment that Punkamania in New York City is like a pop-up. And I went to one. This is a silly little dancing and whatnot. Nothing, no freak-offs happening in that joint. I went for like a, you know, the bachelorette night. Yeah. Very interesting, yeah. You know, you give the guy $1, but then he thinks he could do anything to you, and then you're getting a back rub. Next thing you gotta give him the $1. They get, yeah, it's wild. Those were the days, my friend. Yeah. Oh, I just love you guys.
Website. That's his.
Bro, these women are perverts. That's all they're on here reminiscing about the time some guy rubbed his wiener on her at some kind of show 25 years ago.
That's his.
There's a lot of lonely ladies out there and men. You know, I don't know how it goes, but somebody making that money out there. All right, that's all. It's my 2 cents, but I just cracking up with the comments and people say it's so funny. It's not funny. I'm not laughing at anybody's pain, but you know, this guy with his book, I mean, you know, he's putting, at least he's making his profession work for him. That's great.
That's right. Exactly.
All right.
Thanks, Evie.
You're welcome. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
His book sales will go up after this, for sure. Today, they'll go up. He's happy that the name of it came out.
Yeah, everybody's wanting to read those 6 pages.
Yeah. Momo, hi. Or Mamo? Momo? No? All right. And drop you down. Don't worry. Waiting for the next tweet. Tane Girl. Refreshing.
What's his IG name? Is what, look at the comments. What's his IG name? We want to read those 6 pages in the book. Now, Pete, what's his? These women are just perverts. They want Diddy to go to jail because he broke up with the woman once she got. They all know what this is about, and these women want revenge because all of them get dumped when they hit the wall. All of these women get broken up with once they get too old, right? Too old is usually anything after 36. You're not. That was your anything after 36. If you break up, that's your last relationship. They all want Diddy to go to jail for breaking up with Cassie and when she hit the wall. And now it's starting to turn out they just want to hear sex stories. Like these women, like that's why you can't trust women to vote. You can't trust women in politics. You can't trust women with any of this shit. This is because these women are insane.
All right. It's not. Don't worry about it.
Got to keep refreshing this goddamn tiki-taki.
Oh, hi. Leonard Hibbler.
By the way, this is Mike's Law 1 on tiki-taki. If you want to get into the comments and join the conversation, and just be a normal pervert like the rest of these old ass women with this gay dude, and you guys can talk about perverted stuff, which is exploiting Diddy. I guess because he's black and he's rich, it's not exploitation. It's only exploitation if the person is poor and a woman. So I guess it doesn't work. I guess it's not equal across the board when it comes to exploitation, but whatever. We'll run with that narrative. But if you guys want to join the conversation, it's Mike's Law 1 on tiki-taki.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Mike. Good morning. So going back to the assistant. Hi, everybody. So going back to the assistant, I thought that was quite comical. I think that, Diddy, even though he's an aggressive and bad person, I think that
he's a hoot sometimes, or not a hoot, but he's just mischief. He just is like trying to catch somebody and call them out and playing like games on them and just trying to, just like some of those things that the assistant had said. I didn't realize he had like, different kinds of personalities to him like that.
Right. And CNN now says that something the Punisher just said on the stand was, I did not get any cues that there was a discomfort with what was going on.
Yeah, that's well, I mean,
Yeah, go ahead and dance around it, because there was no fucking rape. There was no trafficking. There was no coercion or force. She was there because he was there because she fucking called him. What do you mean?
After it would be over with, she would suffer from that. So she had to, you
guys are not suffering after sex. Stop it.
In Hollywood.
Right.
She would be a very good actress in a drama.
Yeah.
I mean,
She convinced Diddy.
Yes. And it was a live thing. Now, they said that she would probably have to have acting lessons. Diddy did. Remember whenever they tried to play out the airport thing?
That didn't work, yeah.
Play acting like that. But, hey, she might want to get up with Stormy Daniels. Maybe they could start a franchise together.
Who's that again? Oh, that's that one that sued with that whole thing.
Trump.
Oh yeah. I remember
The Trump thing.
Yeah.
She was a big business lady.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to bring a little humor to the box this morning.
Thank you, Kimberly.
I'm listening. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
I'm glad all these people want to bring humor as this man fights for his fucking life. Ha 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 ha.
To read the book. Somebody needs to get the book, and it's his personal journey, his personal struggle, and he's advocating for implants down there.
I know, it's like he's advertising, don't hold back. Go ahead and get one,
Right.
I had to for my ED or whatever.
Exactly. So I mean,
women get implants all the time. Why can't men? That is just crazy. Freezer meat, though? What does that mean?
In Search of Freezer Meat,
What does that mean?
A story of the male mental health crisis caused by dysfunction and the only true cure no one is talking about, a P implant.
See, I bet he has one, but I don't understand the name of this book.
So he's looking into a freezer saying, where's my meat? And she's saying he must not be into me.
Huh. Yeah, people are probably, I might even buy this book. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
There's 6 pages of it. 6 pages talk about Diddy and Cassie, this wealthy couple. So maybe it's going to end up being on the internet pretty soon, those 6 pages.
6 pages. Okay. All righty then. I'm curious. Okay. Bye, Mike.
Thanks, Redette. Thank you. Let me see. If they have that book on a like a Kindle or something like that, where you can just download the book like an ebook or something, then I'll probably get it just to find those 6 pages.
Mike, someone in the chat said the book is $24.99 on Amazon. So possibly downloadable to Kindle.
Is it? Okay. If it's downloadable, we might be able to talk about those 6 pages tonight. Was Mr. Combs' request that you enter, Cassie? It was a demand, a strong suggestion. Cassie paid you even when she canceled, right? Yes, $500. So was Mr. Combs' request that you fully, they're using the word that starts with P, pen. Did he request that you pen, Cassie? It was a demand, a strong suggestion. Cassie paid you even when she canceled, right? Yes, $500. All right, waiting for the next one. CNN didn't really have anything last time I checked. Let me see what they're saying. No. The last thing CNN is saying that the Punisher testified that he didn't sense any discomfort from Cassie.
Mike, if you read. No, hold on.
That's the only other one.
About her taking his direction from Diddy. He talks about her wincing and being a little uncomfortable.
Let me see.
4 minutes ago.
Kathy didn't refuse Diddy's directions. My understanding was we were creating a scene, a Etsy scene that was enjoyable to her partner. I did observe sometimes a sigh, a wince that seemed to be frustration at the frequency of Diddy's directions. Cassie was usually looking in Combs' direction during these encounters. He never heard her refuse one of Diddy's directions. So that's probably why Xavier Donaldson was trying to clean that up. He says that during his encounters with Cassie, he never observed any filming or any violence. He said smoking was the only narcotic he saw during this time with Diddy and Cassie. He confirmed that Cassie never appeared to be under the influence of narcotics when he saw her. That was the CNN update. Let's see what the tweets are saying. They're at the, was Mr. Combs, okay, we did that one. Mr. Hayes, I wish you success with your book. Thank you. Redirect. What made you think Cassie was enjoying herself? It was the first time, unprotected, without the details. Objection. So the government wants to say, what made you think Cassie was enjoying herself? And his reply was, it was the first time, unprotected, without the details. And Xavier Donaldson objected to that. It's funny that he wished him success with his book when he closed, when he was done with the cross. So we're waiting for the next one. The prosecutor is on redirect right now. Letitia Bell. Hi, Letitia Bell.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to let you know that In Search of Freezer Meat, $9.99 via Kindle, available immediately. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Letitia Bell.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm gonna get that, I guess. $9.99. I guess it's worth it. Donate to the Punisher's Fund. All right, and then I gotta. But then, who's gonna read it and find the 6 pages? I'm not gonna read that. I don't think. Or maybe we'll find the chapter of the wealthy couple. That's what it's gonna be. Tanya, come on up. Let me see if there's another. Hi, Antoinette.
Hi. Oh my God. I almost forgot what I wanted to say, but I don't.
Okay,
Okay, real quick, your page is amazing. So back to the I want to circle back to the witnesses. Do you know the story about what happened with Shine? Are you familiar with Shine?
Yeah, I mean, I know about the case that happened with J-Lo and all that, how he probably took the fall for Diddy, did all those years.
Yes. So my thing is, would they call anybody like as character witnesses to talk about his character type thing?
No, but I think there's that case might actually come into this. They may speak about that because the judge earlier in the pretrial days, when they were fighting about what's going to be allowed and not allowed, the government was trying to introduce a lot of things from Diddy's past.
Yes.
It falls under this 404B evidence, and that's prior bad acts that you're not charged with now, but to show the jury your propensity for doing these kinds of things. And
yes,
the judge threw out everything the government wanted to introduce except one thing. We don't know what that is. So there's one prior bad act that's going to be allowed in from Diddy's past. And I think it involves a victim 5 who's listed as a victim 5. So it could be that, or it could be an assault that he's accused of doing on some record executive in his office.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know a lot of people in this chat, but I know I've been not following Diddy because I never liked him in regards to Tupac. But throughout the years, I started to like his music, and you saw his progression throughout the years. But there was always something funny about him, regardless. But you still see all the cases that came up, everything that's happened. Do you guys also, one more thing before I go, you remember that movie, Get Him to the Greek?
Yes.
And the way that they portrayed Diddy, isn't that crazy?
I don't remember it though.
Oh, you don't? So basically in the movie, they portrayed him as a music mogul that was high and all the time on drugs, and just really, it's crazy foreshadowing, but nevertheless, thank you so much. I love listening to you.
Thank you so much, Antoinette. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Thanks. Let me drop you down, Antoinette. All right, we're waiting for the next tweet. He's still on the stand, apparently. It's on redirect. Prosecutors on their second shot with him. Here we go. No further questions. Anything from Mr. Donaldson? What do you mean by steamy? I felt it was enjoyable for Cassie and Diddy. Oh, it seems like he's trying to help them when he says that. Seems like he's almost trying to help Diddy.
Good and bad feedback. I just wanted to say, and I'm probably going to get a bunch of backlash about this, but as far as, I'll say this part first, maybe they won't go too much in on me. As far as the supposedly abuse and all that stuff, okay, hands down, I don't think no man or woman should attack, beat, or do any of that type of stuff to one another or to anybody, especially a person that is harmless or helpless in a situation. So I'm going to say that. I don't agree with that. But as far as his sexual preference, as far as whatever they're doing, whether it's whatever type of narcotics, whatever they're doing, that is their life.
Yep.
That's what they do. That's what they wanted to do to feel good. They say ecstasy pills make you feel like you're on cloud nine. You feel like you whatever. I don't know. I've never done it. But I'm just going to say that's the only part I don't really think he should be guilty of. I don't think that man should go down for having prostitutes or male escorts or whatever he's doing in his bedroom or in his hotels or where he's doing it. Because we all got a little freakiness. I'm just going to say it. We all doing our own little way. I'm not saying we're doing the baby oil in the
Girl, you like a little baby oil. Okay, look, if I met her in real life, she'd probably be like, you know what, throw a little Crisco on me, Rick. I'm like, Crisco? You gonna make some taco shells on you? She's like, nah, lube me up. I'm like, ooh, I'm sure she likes it. Who doesn't? They're not gonna let her stay here for too long because they want somebody that's gonna agree with them. Diddy is a monster. He killed Tupac. He rapes Bieber and Usher, and he needs to be in prison for the rest of his life because he broke up with a Cassie when she aged out. He didn't go fight for her back from Alex Fine. He fought for her for everybody. But once she got too old and Alex wanted her, he was like, man, you got my blessing. Just get my money back from him because I did pay the nigga to train you and now he's fucking you. So other than that, Diddy didn't commit any crimes. And that's not even a crime.
business. They're from a different state. Yeah, technically it's a federal violation, but the feds don't usually go after that charge alone. But
Okay.
I think the issue here, and maybe what I get from you, is that Cassie wanted this every time, and that there weren't any times where she was being forced or coerced into doing it. Is that, I don't know if you believe that. Maybe.
Yeah, because I just feel. Yeah, no, I feel like, no, honestly, listen, with my man, it's whatever you want, how you want it, when you want it, whatever. We're going to do this because we want our relationship to be sparked up or whatever the case may be. But that's our business. Now, I'm not going to say later, oh, I didn't want to do it. Well, you did it. If you go back from the beginning of the story, she said she wanted to do whatever it was to please him.
She's absolutely right. And I want to remind people, Cassie at no time ever lived with Diddy. So that means there is no trafficking. She had to take her own car, get her own taxi or Uber, and go to him. She didn't live with him. So he's not in control over her. She has her own bank accounts. They don't live together. She's literally going to him. She has a choice. Other times she had other boyfriends and she was still sneaking to go cheat with Diddy. He's not trafficking her. She's cheating with him and on him. It's toxic because she's nasty. But look at the comments. Girl, bye. Girl, this, girl, because she's telling the truth. They don't want the truth. They want sweet little nasty freaky lies.
I felt it was enjoyable for Cassie and Diddy, and that was the last thing that came out. Let me
and you see how fast they dropped Sister Girl? It's crazy.
This is I don't know if we did. It was no, I think it was just them. Let's see who the next one is going to be, because they still have more time. They're almost done, if not already done, with the Punisher. He didn't really bring much. At the end, it kind of
bring much of what? What the fuck did you want him to say? Yeah, I showed up and I brought 3 midgets that were 5 years old, and we took them in. Like, what did you think he was going to say? I'm an escort. Cassie called me over for sex. We had sex. I think she likes me. She's really pretty. I liked her. Diddy's in the other room. The end. What else were you going to think that he was going to say? You want him to incriminate himself by making it more salacious? Get the fuck out of here. It doesn't even make sense.
Okay, that's who's going to be next, or that's who's supposed to be next. That's the female chef. And
by the way, I now that I know how to, where I can play the videos and you guys can hear the video clearly and it's not just coming through my microphone, I'm about to just be listening to everything I can find on the internet and commenting on it the way I'm doing right now. I'm about to just do this all the time. Now that I figured out how to do this on my computer, because it's not as easy as it sounds, like to get your computer to stream, onto the computer, from the computer, and then you got a microphone. Now that I know how to do it, it's up. I'm doing videos on everything and every topic going forward. So on right now, if you're following me on X or on Twitter, right? I only have 10 followers. This is a new page. Like the page, follow the page. I only have 10 followers on there. However you follow me on X, I only have a few followers. Follow me so you can keep up with me. The Single Boyfriend or Right Wing Rico. Either one of those, just follow me. Please.
And so I'm wondering for the Rico, since he had his employees buy the supplies with their own money and then he reimbursed them.
Yeah.
Like if he paid payroll taxes on the stuff that they, like if you spend $20 and I pay you $20, am I logging it as $20 like a salary, or am I just giving you $20 towards supplies? Because it would be different on the taxes.
And they didn't specify, but another way to look at it is, regardless of who paid for it, he's being paid his salary or so I think they're going to.
Why wouldn't they?
Go ahead.
Why wouldn't the state object to when you said, I think Diddy and Cassie enjoyed it? Wouldn't that be hearsay?
I saw they did object, but I think it was rephrased another way.
Okay.
And they eventually got it in.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Heather.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So we're waiting for the next tweet and the next witness.
The reason I'm watching videos and like this is because just keep in mind, if you're watching this content on my page, the only reason I'm doing this is because one day it's going to be you. One day it's going to be me. One day it's going to be your brother. It's going to be another man that's going to be accused of some bullshit because somebody's mad that he doesn't want to be with them anymore. All of these women are exes of these men, and these exes want money. They want to embarrass you, or they just want your attention. Even if they're not getting any money, they just want you to know that they're there and that, because you ghost them. I've ghost women that have vengeance against me, but there's really not much they can do to me because I record everything. So you can't really say, "Bro, Rico did this." Rico, no. Here goes the footage right here. You know what I do? I left you alone. Yeah, I might have knocked down your best friend. She's looking at me a lot, and then I'm cool. If you know me personally, I'm cool. So yeah, I might sleep with your friend too, but yeah, I would prefer you to be there. I don't really want to mess your friend behind your back. I think that's very uncouth, and it's very anti-Rico. See, to be Rico, you have to be there. I like the combination. It goes against everything there is to be Rico if I do it with your friend behind your back. I'd rather do it with you. So, but it can be anybody. Anybody could get accused. A ham sandwich could be on trial next week, and people would be like, I think I can see the ham sandwich driving across the border with some girl. People will make up anything because they're dumb and they lie a lot and they want to see stuff happen to you. People are evil. Now that we have social media, we can see that people just want to see bad stuff happen to other people. These people aren't very supportive and nice and friendly. And no, I mean, you hear all this evidence and nothing about these people are saying that this man is a monster. It's just all projection from what they were just assuming that media was being honest. But not even his enemies are saying that he was a monster. So, I mean, why do you want to hear that so bad? But anyway, it's going to be somebody next, and you want to know how to maneuver. You're going to want to know what to expect. So that's why these cases are important, because one day it's going to be you.
He gave us nothing really.
He gave the government nothing except another escort. I think the jury accepts that these escorts, you could tell them however many you want, show them as many pictures as you want. They accept it. They believe it. Diddy's not arguing that these didn't happen. They're arguing how it happened. So okay, thanks a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cher, I'll bring you up. So we got a special agent on the stand right now, which is good. We'll get a little bit of info about how they searched and everything. Cher, hi.
Hey, I was thinking maybe she was comfortable with the what's his name?
Punisher.
Yeah, the Punisher, because Diddy didn't get mad at her and hit her when she was with him.
That could be. Right.
Because he did what she wanted. I mean, he did what Diddy wanted.
And he never, but he couldn't perform one time. He said it was really it was a big fail one day.
Right.
Poor guy. But at least that led him to writing a book, and he was able to plug the book to the world today.
And you helped him, yeah.
I helped him. Somebody said
he'll be sold out.
Somebody wrote in the chat, the Punisher's out here disappointing everybody. not punishing a great.
Right.
All right. Thanks, Sarah.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Punisher, poor guy. Tahiba. All right, let's get the next tweet from the agent. All right, nothing yet. We're waiting. Hi, Tahiba.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, real quick. That last lady name was Angel Keisha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keisha, I'm sorry, honey. I'm 49 years old, and I'm gonna tell you one thing. You sound like a lady maybe in your late 20s or early 30s. This is just my assumption. You sound young, but you need to live a little bit longer before you say, "Oh, they force." Example, real quick. When I was in my 20s, my ex-husband was an alcoholic, and I was like, "How can you not control your drinking? Oh my gosh, you need to pray." La 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 la. I got a little bit longer, lived a little bit longer. Guess who was the alcoholic? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God didn't bless me to be not alcohol for like 6 years,
Yeah.
but live a little longer, baby. Because those same words you say gonna come bite you right down. You say it in front of 3,000 people, baby. You got a lot of people that's gonna be watching you, Keisha. So to see if you stay on your P's and Q's, baby. But okay, you can drop me down. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Taiba. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Let me drop you down. CNN says, okay, Hayes, the Punisher is finished. Gerard Gannon, Special Agent, Homeland Security on the stand. He's the 10th witness called so far by the prosecution. He's based in Miami, currently works with Homeland Security's National Security Group, but previously worked in its Human Trafficking Group. So we're getting the exact same information in the tweets. Let me check to see if another one came out. No, last one was 6 minutes ago. Let me double check. All right, that was it. Let me bring somebody up. Jan Harris, come on up. Let me say thanks real quick to Ms. Bell, D. Thomas, Louise, Mimi, Carrie, Bernie, Nan, Nadia, Trina, and Kim. Thank you guys so much. Hi, Jan.
Hey, Mike, do you think that there's a big heavyset guy that talks all the time on Facebook? He used to be
Security.
Yeah.
Gene Deal, maybe? Or,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Yes. Is he going to be testifying?
No, I don't expect him to. He was at the courthouse yesterday or the day before in the overflow room, listening to the proceedings yesterday, and he gave a couple of interviews outside the courthouse. I don't expect him to be testifying at all.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Cracking up today. You have been so funny. Oh my God. But anyway, you can drop me down and I will keep watching.
Thanks, Jan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Drop you down, Jan. Deborah. All right, they're taking a while with this guy, with the tweets. All right, here we go. What time did the search, let's see. What time did the search begin? After 3 p.m. Why so late? We learned Diddy and his family were flying out of the country. Was there a pier on the property on Star Island? Yes, we had to monitor it. Hi, Deborah.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. You?
Good, thanks. The Punisher, that was oh my God, what a waste of a witness to be put up there. I'm sorry, I was just catching up to where everybody is. And for Heather, she asked a question. For your employer for payroll taxes, just so everyone is clear on this, if you lay out money to your employer and it's $20, they give you $20 back. It doesn't get taken out of payroll taxes. It gets written off for a company expense.
Okay.
So I just wanted to clear that for her because I felt I could. And that's just for everybody to know that. But yes, and then the Punisher, I just thought that was a ridiculous, like, why would they even call him up? I just thought he did nothing but give himself publicity. It was just nothing.
and maybe help Diddy a little bit by ending it by saying that, you know, Cassie didn't seem to be in distress, or this is the argument Diddy's lawyers are going to make all along, that this was consensual, that there was, she might not have liked it, but she wasn't forced or coerced into it. And if there's going to be a guy there who's going to say that that she didn't,
Yeah, she didn't like it. She fucking loved it.
it's not that great for the government. And if you look at the balance of things, they got nothing out of him except that he was another one of the escorts
And couldn't perform.
and couldn't perform. Yeah, wrote a book. You know,
Wrote a book.
Hunkomania, all that great stuff.
Yeah, Hunkomania. And the other thing is with him, I don't know, like I think they were trying to use him to say that because he was saying that they weren't on drugs, they just smoked when he was there, and where Cassie was saying she was on drugs all the time.
Yeah, that's
when she was with the escorts.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yes, he was more helpful to Diddy than he was to the prosecution, or just a circus that became at that point.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't see the government's advantage.
Well, let's be honest. The truth is helpful to Diddy. It's not these people per se. These people are under oath. They're afraid to lie. They were subpoenaed. They're not going to perjure themselves. It's not that these people are just saying what they think the government what's going to help Diddy. They're saying the truth. So what you're saying is that the truth is helping Diddy. The facts are helping Diddy, not the emotional nonsense, not all the projection. The truth is helping Diddy. It's not these people. It's the truth. It's what's happening is helping Diddy. Nothing more, nothing less. If reality is on your side, then you have a good case. That's it. These people are not lying, or they're not trying to, they don't care either way. They really can't care either way. They really just have to be honest, because if they're caught lying, they can be perjured and they can risk themselves getting in trouble. They're trying to get through this and figure out how they can get some money at the end of it. All these people here want money. Either they're going to try to get a civil case if Diddy's convicted, but if they don't get convicted, but if he's not convicted, they want to be able to go to him and say, hey, remember me? I helped you. I didn't say nothing. What could you say? You came over and fucked and you left, nigga. I didn't even book you. What could you say? Oh, man, he took me to Bermuda. He took me in the ass, bro. You can't make up a story like that. You can't even, it's unsubstantiated. You won't be able to prove it. What can you prove? And be honest about it. You're not really doing Diddy a favor. You're just telling the truth. So what should he even be grateful for? Nothing. Nothing at all. It's the truth is in Diddy's favor, not these people, not the testimony.
To leave on the trip with his family. So they waited for him to leave, then hit the house, then hit him at the airport when he was waiting at the airport. Hi, Monica.
Hi. Yeah, just back to the Punisher real quick. Somebody can, pop a few pills and nobody's going to know. They're not going to be like nodding out or anything like that. So he really couldn't testify as if she was under the influence of anything other than smoking. So I feel like that was, not a good statement to make or whatever. And, I'm just guessing that the prosecution knows what they're doing and he was on the stand for a reason, maybe for later, but like right now it's like, really, you just wasted so much time in court today for him to promote his book pretty much. So
yeah,
I mean, that was a little frustrating, but I just wanted to make that comment because, it's really hard for somebody to know if you're under the influence unless you're completely, whacked out of your mind or whatnot. So,
right.
I mean,
Which we heard from the last escort, that Daniel Phillip. He said one time he showed up for one of these freak-offs and Cassie was slumped over.
Right.
Halfway on the bed, halfway on the couch, half on the floor. So it was canceled. So we didn't get any of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But she had testified that, she had to take stuff in order to be able to do them. And I believe that. And that's my whole point is like, that's not a verifiable testimony to say that.
Yeah.
So that's it. And, again, thank you for all you're doing, Mike, and hi to the beautiful mods on the panel.
Thank you. Thanks, Monica.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Make sure subscribers. Karen Clark. Did somebody say the Punisher is giving an interview? They said the Punisher is thanking Diddy, or is that just being like sarcastic? Hi, Karen.
Hi, I could not help but to say something. I was going to wait tonight, but what Monica just said is 100% true. I'm sorry, I got to speak on this. I'll make it real brief. It is so hard, I know, in court to prove all these things, and I do believe there's going to be more witnesses that are going to be able to speak to Cassie, to speak about the situation and what they saw and how they saw it and where they saw it and all that. But, this is extremely difficult. And that doctor, when she comes on, she'll explain it too. But we have to remember Cassie was very young. She was very inexperienced. Way to get out of here. And even people who try to leave a regular DV situation is difficult, especially when you don't have your hands on enough money. So it's really hard. We weren't there with her. It's hard to say, oh no, she could have just got up and left. I don't believe that she could have. I believe that she was brainwashed, that she was terrified.
Blah, 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 blah. She's brainwashed, terrified. The bitch lives alone. She has her own place, her own money. She's a fucking artist. She's a singer. She has a record deal. She has plenty of money. She lives alone. She can go home. She can leave. She cannot answer her phone, change her phone number. Nobody is tracking her down. She has full agency over herself, but you still want to pretend that she doesn't. Well, then why do women have rights then? If women can't choose for themselves, and every time something happens, they're just victims, then why do they have then what do they need freedom for? What are they doing with it? Why do you even have a right to vote if you can't control who you vote for because all men are coercing you and everything is forced? It doesn't make sense. You can't have it both ways. This is ridiculous. But just listen to how these people talk.
Aren't going to see it that way, but there's more people that know better, especially intelligent people that really have that lack of understanding that they get it. So, and there's too many people that were in his orbit that have spoken out. So anyways, I'm anxious to see where.
Okay. What are the people in his orbit? What have they spoken out and said in this trial? What'd they say? People just make up stuff and they project and they just lie about shit and they exaggerate and blah, blah, blah.
So we're waiting for the next tweet out of the courthouse. They're still talking to the agent on the stand. He's breaking down what happened in the search. And we're waiting for the next tweet to come out after that. Boy Stop, do you want to come up? Hi, Boy Stop.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right. And Maud, greetings. I just want to say something about the 21-year-old Cassie, right?
Yeah.
Most women at 20, 21, they be on the hunt for men with money. This was not her first relationship. She wasn't that gullible. Look at the little cat that just...
Exactly. Come on, tell them, sister.
Football player that just got
Shannon
caught.
Sharp. Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp. Yeah.
Yes, they be on the hunt. They look for men with money. Stop playing these games.
That, let's say, I agree. Let's say I can agree with you with that. And let's talk about Cassie. Let's say hypothetically she came into this like knowing that he's powerful. I'm going to be famous too, and I'm going to make a lot of money. I just got to win him over. I just got to make him my boyfriend. And as time goes on, she realizes, damn, I have to do these kind of things. This isn't really what this wasn't part of my plan of trying to get the bag. And I got drawn into this now. Every week, Boy Stop, for like years, these freak offs are happening.
What you do then is start pinching off the top, stacking your money. When you get enough,
why would you? She likes the freak offs are for her. They're not for Diddy. It's for her. She can't leave herself. She was having freak offs probably with other niggas. She was still fucking other men behind her back, behind Diddy's back and behind his other men's backs. It's not them. It's her. What are you not understanding? Are these? But you know, that's a good thing. You can't drop me down on this conversation because I'm not a part of his goddamn chat. This is my platform and we're listening, but I can chime in whenever the fuck I want. So I don't have to argue with these weird ass people, but this is crazy.
How long can you be a victim when you keep going back and forth? She wanted the bag. Then she was jealous of the other women. Why I'm gonna be jealous? Let them participate then. I'm just saying, don't tell me just because of her age, because women know. They stop. No. Look at all the women Hugh Hefner had. Women like this be thirsty and they know what they're getting themselves in for. I don't care what nobody say. Some of them are gullible, yeah, but when do you get sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Can they ever be a victim?
Yes, they can be, definitely.
Give me an example of how
I give her the benefit of the doubt.
Well, when they're children,
maybe even 3. But when you start looking for your own escorts,
yeah.
No, you can't be a victim at 5 o'clock and then a co-defendant at 7 o'clock.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
When you're finding she's right. If you're finding your own escort, you're not a victim, bro.
Say something else. If she was a dark-skinned female, she would be a co-defendant, even if they wanted to only give her a conviction. Dark-skinned female, dark-skinned people in general. We ain't even talking about. We talking just about complexion, not race. Complexion. If she was a dark-skinned sister, I believe it would be a different story. And
okay. Thank you, Boy Stop.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Everybody has their opinions, and we listen. And then not kind of as the joke. Let me see. Humble Sparrow. But you have to understand that if you find one person on the jury who thinks even a little bit in that direction, that's what Diddy's looking for. Hi, Humble Sparrow.
Hi again, Mike.
Hello.
Just wanted to respectfully respond to your last caller. In my opinion,
yes,
again, with my experience, what was most important to Cassie was to make him happy. And if she had to pretend that she wanted to do the freak offs to make him happy, she would pretend. If she had to pretend she was enjoying the freak offs when she really wasn't, she was willing to pretend whatever it took to make him happy. Now, do I believe there was some financial benefit for her. And we have to remember she initially came into contact with Diddy because of this music contract. That was her initial contact. Well, she fell in love with him, and it came to the point that all of this stuff that he was doing really didn't matter. In my opinion, just whatever she needed to do to convince him that I need to be your one and only, she was willing to do whatever it took, even at her own expense, the expense of her mental health, her physical health, her relationship with family and friends, whatever. I'm telling you, not what I heard, but what I definitely know. And also, she did have the added benefit of having everything financially that she needed. And if it was that hard for her to walk away from that relationship with no financial strain and struggles as far as what he was providing for her, look at a person like me that didn't have any money. My husband didn't have any money. And it took me 10 years to walk out of the relationship. So again, we have to be a little more reasonable and compassionate. And people can only go in so far with the compassion and the reasonableness if they haven't walked through it or walked through it with someone else. But I respect her opinion and I see a lot of her points. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Humble Sparrow. There's no new tweet right now, but there's an update on CNN that says the jury was shown a picture of Diddy's Miami Beach home's front gate, which was broken. Agents used their vehicle to break through the gate to enter the property. He said it was standard practice when conducting a search warrant as the quickest and safest option to be able to get onto the property. And we haven't got a tweet from
lived in a house with domestic violence. My mom stayed for a long time. And so, you know, love sometimes make you stay with someone, but for her to say like, hey, she enjoyed it, it was the money, that's not the case. There's nobody enjoys getting beat or anything of that nature. So, and another thing she said, what if it was your daughter that came to you and said, you know what, mom, I'm having a hard time. Would you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, he's rich. Go ahead and take it." Him hitting you, him abusing you, it's okay because he's rich. That's it comes with the territory of being rich. No, you're not gonna say that if that was your daughter that you seen with bruises all over her. You're gonna try to help her out just like Cassie mom sent him that 20K because of that reason. She was trying to protect her child. And the Carter have to understand it. Maybe you don't have a kid that's been through that, or maybe you don't know someone's that been through that. I lived through it as a little as a child. I watched my mom live through it as a child, and that's not always true. So she really need to do her research on things like that because it's not true.
Good point. Thank you, loving Jesus.
No problem.
Thank you. Let me drop it down. Tracy P. We're still waiting for a new tweet coming out from Inner City. Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi.
So, I think people keep forgetting this is, the feds against Diddy, not Cassie versus Diddy.
Right.
And you can't, to the one person, whoever she was, she did not want to be urinated in her mouth.
Yeah.
So what is behind doors, I mean, that's not necessarily always true. She did not want that. And she did.
She absolutely wanted it. The man testified. She asked me, and she even admitted she asked for get peed in her mouth. What the fuck are you? How can you tell this woman what she didn't want? You're not her. You can't speak for her. Let these people tell you themselves what she already did. This is what annoys me about these goddamn people in these conversations.
Right. So she probably didn't financially have the means to leave.
Right.
On her own. And another thing, I know I'm included.
Bro, she could have went to go live with her parents. Shut the fuck up.
A man. Well, he likes her or he's doing this, but if I stick around long enough, I can change him for the better. So maybe Cassie even thought about that aspect. I don't know. But can you tell me a little bit more about the enterprise? Because is it a whole different enterprise, or is it being funneled through Diddy's enterprise?
So the enterprise is the Combs enterprise, the Sean kidnapping, arson, obstruction of justice, forced labor, narcotics, and they have to show not just the government needs to prove not just that these are separate events. Yeah, there was some narcotics here. Yeah, this kidnapping might have happened here, but the government has to show all of these are connected. This is all part of the enterprise, and there's people within the enterprise, his employees, security, assistants, who all play a role and have committed crimes as well. Not all of them are committing crimes, but security, or assistants, for example, when this guy's taking narcotics to Diddy, bringing them to the hotel, he's committing a crime. The person who's telling him to do it is committing a crime. So these are the crimes that are happening, and the government has to prove to the jury.
Those are not crimes that are happening. Those are not even charges that are up there because there are no crimes. You guys are making this up, and you don't even know if that's even true. That is not what he's on trial for. Somebody bringing him drugs, and somebody told somebody this is not a drug case. This is not a domestic violence case. Why do people keep making up extra shit?
They're financially supporting these crimes. They're getting the hotels. They're paying for the escorts to come through there, for the narcotics. Who knows where the money's coming from, the business or credit cards being used from the businesses, people being paid with money.
He's a billionaire. He has money. There is no money that needs to come from anywhere illicit. He's a billionaire. There is no enterprise. There's no RICO. There's no racketeering. How are you in a RICO by yourself? That's impossible. This is ridiculous.
That's withdrawn from the
explanation.
CNN updated a few minutes ago. Okay, CNN 1 minute ago. That was still the ones where they broke through the gate. So Homeland Security agent is still on the stand. This particular agent was part of the search of Diddy's home in Miami. And we're waiting for the next tweet. It's been really a long time. Yep, nothing yet. And court should be finishing very soon. 3 o'clock, it ends every day. By the way, Friday, there's no court. The court is off on Friday because of Memorial Day on Monday. So Monday, of course, is no court. So this is a short week. And next week also is only 4 days. So we only have court up until Thursday this week. Hi, Roblin.
Hey, Mike, I was going to say, so far, I mean, since this whole thing started,
yeah,
the government has been a real disappointment to some degree because we thought they were going to bring out, big stars. I mean, I think it was from the beginning, from the first press conference, they made it sound like it was going to be this huge case. I mean, it is, but in its own way because of who Diddy is.
Right.
But we thought there was going to be so much more involved, and it's been kind of disappointing. And I think it's even going to be even more disappointing if they don't bring up Christina Coram. Like, why would you not do that? I mean, that's like one of their best witnesses. And I'm kind of afraid that that's what's going to happen. Don't you think they would have already brought her on?
No, I don't think that I think I still believe that she's going to be coming on. And I think the fact that she's not brought on right now, I don't think is so important. I don't know exactly, but she became she worked for him for a while and then became his assistant. I don't know if she was which years towards the end of Cassie's relationship with Diddy, which ended in 2018. I don't know how many years before that she was there. So she could be coming in having really not too much to say about Cassie, but about the other crimes he's accused of.
Information to the jury.
Yeah.
And play that recording from the MDC.
Yeah, let's see if we ever get that stuff in.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Roblin.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, we have a couple of tweets that came out. They showed him some photos. The government showed him some photos. Why did you have to break open the gate? To make sure that bad actors wouldn't have time to put those who would search in danger.
I want to say thank you for the super chats and thank you for those Cash App donations. I do appreciate it. I'm actually going to use those to go to lunch today, so I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support.
And they show photos of the weapons are shown to the jury. So we're probably going to see those weapons later today like we did those other exhibits. Photos of Cassie and the escorts. We're probably going to get those photos that they're talking about right now as well. So they're showing the jury parts of AR-15 rifles, S toys, and Astroglide. Like this Astro
Guide, sex toys, and guns. None of these things have anything to do with racketeering, trafficking, or prostitution. Bro, this Diddy trial is looking great. I don't know what trial these other people are watching where like it's not looking good for Diddy. Are you not listening? Or are you just bad with comprehension? Or are you just too emotional to process what's happening? They're not proving their case that he was involved in a sex trafficking enterprise. They haven't been able to prove sex trafficking. He did not sex traffic Cassie. He's a billionaire. He was not selling Cassie to anyone. No one's ever said he did. Well, then it's not sex trafficking. It is not prostitution. And it's definitely not a RICO. This is what they call a waste of time, a witch hunt. And it's hilarious because it's exploding in their face and they're all going to be so disappointed when he's found not guilty of these charges. They can't even get him on wire fraud. That's the only one thing they would have been able to get him on, but they didn't even charge him with that because it'd be ridiculous.
That's if those exist and if there were illegal stuff happening there, that has nothing to do with this case whatsoever.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I've seen these videos like 50% saying Diddy sent him pictures of her, pretty much, you know, in the state of the FO state.
Yeah.
They can't use that as evidence because it seems like everyone knew they can't use that as evidence to back Kathy's statement up.
I think they're going to use a lot of whatever they have, whatever evidence they have to show the jury to back up Cassie's credibility and her statements. They're going to use. I think we're going to see a lot more. But this case is way bigger than Cassie.
He could be, you know,
The case is not bigger than Cassie.
They're going to bring that up at all or investigate that, or have they been investigating that?
Absolutely not. They will not bring up any connection between Kim Porter's passing and Diddy even remotely being responsible at all.
And then last one thing, I just want to say that little piece. I really feel like this man wanted to be Cassie, and like everything that he was tossing her out was probably the way that he wanted it to be tossed out, because he feels like he's battling his own sexuality. And yeah, hurt people hurt people. It's a shame that so many women and men are seeing Cassie as perpetrators. I believe she's a victim, but I'll keep it at that. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Olivia. Thank you. We had I think I could hear you a little bit better, but I think a lot of people had a hard time. Aurora, come on up. Let me just refresh real quick and see if there's a tweet. All right, no, that was the last one. Hi, Aurora.
Hi. Hi, chat. Hi, mods, and hello to you. So I was covering the Epstein stuff last night, and somebody came into my live and commented that there was a possible message that Prince left behind that could be very damning. Do you have any information on that?
Yeah, that wasn't true. That was just some fake AI stuff they put out.
That's what I thought, and that's what I explained to them, but I told them I was going to come and check in on you. So thank you very much. That's what I wanted to know.
Very welcome. Thanks for coming up, Aurora.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. Let me drop you down, Aurora. We're waiting for the next tweet. They should be ending court for the day pretty soon. Javon Smith, D. Thomas, Maria, Lisa, Ash, Mimi, Angie, Tara, and Amy. Thank you guys. Hi, Javon.
Hi. Yeah. I got two things real quick.
All right.
The government called the Punisher as a witness, correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay. I don't understand why everyone's so upset about his testimony and think he's clout chasing, but he did put himself on stand. That's one thing.
I think we kind of agree with that. We were just trying to figure out what benefit did he give the government by being their witness? I didn't see the benefit. He talked that he participated in these freak-offs 8 to 12 times, but Diddy's not denying that these freak-offs happened. His lawyers are.
I get that. I get that part. I don't get that. My thing is a couple people.
That's true. But do you think he maybe took advantage of that by?
Yeah, I definitely think he took advantage of it. Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my other thing is with people being mad about with Cassie and saying that she couldn't have wanted this. No one knows if she could have wanted it or not, because you have to think about there are people in this world who do the craziest things for money and for love. And you have to there was like the lady who went over to Dubai to let those people do what in their mouth?
Yeah.
For money. There's women who are out here who like to put their hands on their man to have makeup smacks. You know, there's no one knows what's in anyone's head, because no one knows anyone's fetish or anything until it's exposed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand. I'm not saying that I'm not pro Diddy, I'm not pro Cassie. I can never be a juror because I just think way too much.
Yeah.
But I just want people to really think about what if. Because he didn't make her write those texts. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes sense. Do you think that every time, because she said it happened every week consistently for 10 years, do you think that we saw a couple texts about one or two of those out of the hundreds? Do you think that there was times where she really didn't want to and he kind of forced her or coerced her into it?
Yes, I do think there was times where she didn't want to, and there's times like one lady kind of came up and said her man wanted to do it anywhere, anytime, and she had to do it because she wanted to please him. Yeah. And that's what she actually said. She was doing things to please him. If she didn't want to, she's not saying that. Okay, I understand she said he threatened her and he went to send somebody to come get her and all that. I understand that, but that was after a whole nother something. Where was she at? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just the thing. I just want people to really realize that there are these type of things happen in everyday lifestyle to people we don't know. Like the Dahmer, people live next door to Dahmer and never knew those type of things were going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I want people to really think about. I'm not telling nobody that Cassie is wrong.
Right.
It's just she's lying either or, through the text or on stand. But I think people need to really think about this logically. There are people who out here into these things.
Drop you down, Javon. Diamond Girl, thank you. Let me check to see if another tweet came out. They should be ending court for the day very soon. There's still not anything. No, let me see CNN. Because 3 p.m. is CNN talks about the weapons. The jury saw photos of items found in one of the closets in the master bedroom of Diddy's Miami Beach home. They testified that agents found platform high heels, toys, baby oil, personal lubricant, and lingerie in the closet. They also found upper and lower receivers of AR-15s, which are parts of the weapon. The team was not able to determine the maker of one of the AR-15 rifles recovered in the closet. He held up an evidence bag holding the AR-15 upper receiver. He put on rubber gloves and held up one of the upper receivers for the jury. He said there are zip ties securing the weapon so it's not able to be fired. So more information about what they found at the house. Again, baby oil, lubricants, platform, high heels. Hi, Martina.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. I think people are missing the point here. It doesn't matter if Cassie enjoyed it 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. Those times where she said no and she was beat into submission are what they're on trial for.
Exactly.
That's not what she's on trial for. That's called rape. He's not on trial for rape. And also, she never testified that he beat her into submission and raped her. And with that, so basically, all the escorts rape her too. Like everybody just gang raped her. That's a lie. And this lady, this big, heavy-set, lying-ass old woman is making up this nonsense. That never happened, and nobody ever testified that it happened. She's projecting and reaching again. I have to cut her off and say that. She's projecting and she's reaching yet again. That never happened. She never testified that I was beaten and gang raped by anybody. And I was, and I said, no, that never happened.
Right. And you know those times when she was like, okay, we had a good night. And the thinking with some victims is if I do what he says, then I'll have some good nights. He won't beat me today. Right. He won't beat me tomorrow if I do what he wants. Like people, I guess a lot of people, I haven't been in situations like that, but I know enough people that have been. And I've been in mentally and verbally abusive relationship. So
from this, and I'm gonna run away from this, and you're gonna chase me down and bring me back. That's the answer to your question. What happens if I don't want to do it? What happens if I say no? And
we saw it in real time.
Yeah.
He went to the elevator, beat the shit out of her, and dragged her back to the room. That's what happens.
Exactly. So that's all the jury has to answer to themselves. Is there any real fear of violence if she says no? And I think that's been proven that there is.
Yeah, so what worries me is, like you said, like they all we need is one person on the jury that thinks contrary to that.
Right.
And
That's why
it's
it's important when I bring these people up that have that opinion, because I think you might find a juror, maybe not that strong of opinion, or else it would have come out in the jury questionnaires, but I think you might have multiple jurors that are going to be thinking at least along the lines, have those kind of similar doubts. And that's why I like bringing them up here, because we hear those things, and we talk about what the government's going to need to do to win those jurors over.
right. That's all I had, Mike. That's my 2 cents for this afternoon.
Awesome. Thanks, Martina. Thanks
Thank
for coming
you,
up.
Mike. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Let me drop you down, Martina. Angela, hi.
Hi, Mr. Mike. There are two new tweets.
Okay, great.
And then they're closing for the day. But when I was on earlier, I forgot to tell you something. While I was waiting for you this morning, there was another page, Big Apple Vibes, where the gentleman was outside, and when he would see somebody that he knew from TikTok, he would say, "Oh, this is such and such and such and such," and somebody was like, "Where's Mike's Law? Where's Mike's Law? He's got to be here."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. He was
So
on
I
live.
just wanted to tell you that.
Interesting. Thank you. That's good. Appreciate that, Angela.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I think they broke for the day, but let's see. He said the magazines were loaded with bullets. What do these pictures show? The serial numbers have been cut out.
Nonsense that has nothing to do with sex trafficking, racketeering, or prostitution. So they broke for today. I'm going to actually go to lunch. I'm going to take a lunch, and I'll be back. We're going to go over what Tory Lane said to Jason Lee about why he did not want to tell the truth about who shot Megan when he got convicted. I mean, it's kind of water under the bridge. It's kind of spilled milk at this point, but he is fighting for his life. So we're going to go over that when I come back. So follow the page, like and subscribe. I'll be back. Give me like, I have a business meeting. So give me 1 hour and I'll be back. Thank you guys for tuning in, and follow our sponsor, cosigning.com. If you need an apartment or a house, but you don't have a friend or a family member willing to be your co-signer, reach out to cosigning.com today, and they will help you secure the home of your dreams. The service does work. I've used them before over the years, so that's why I'm a proud sponsor. Thank you very much.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.